Hey there, thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Spiritual Scientist. I'm Victor. Thanks for checking me out. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about UFOs. How crazy is that? This channel is really weird. I talk about UFOs. Didn't think I'd be talking about UFOs years ago, but here we are. Back in, I think it was 2015, I was going to churches a lot, praying, and I went to a church, started praying, and got a visualization of, UFO, and I didn't get it. I was like, what's going on? And it was pretty clear. Sometimes when I would go in church and pray, I would get, visions. One of them was, hey, there's a tsunami, in the picture of a giant wave tsunami, and later that day a giant tsunami hit the Philippines. So just to show me, I guess, that things were happening. So I got a visualization of UFO, and it was basically what you could call the aliens or whatever contacted me and said, hey, we're going to show you we're in contact with you, and to show you we're legit, we are going to fly in front of the ISS, the International Space Station. So, and there's probably some people at this point going to say on my channel, well, that doesn't exist, it's all fake. Listen, I'm just reporting what happened. So, anyway, and they showed me that an American flag, like they were the friendlies, they were the good guys. And then I was like, okay, and that was the vision I got. Then later that night, UFO was spotted by a camera by the ISS, and they cut the feed, and now that's been in the news a lot recently. But that was something that happened to me 2015. I reported about it on my channel here. Anyway, fast forward a little bit, they kind of, mentally, I felt contacted me and said, hey, we'd like you to be a representative for us here on Earth, blah, blah, blah. And I said, I hate when I say blah, blah, blah. Sorry about that. So anyway, I said, I don't know. And they said, well, we'll make sure you get, wealth and things like that. And I said, it doesn't sound like a good deal. No, because I just didn't want to do that. Betray the human race and all that kind of stuff. Just didn't want to do that. Sounded, something about wasn't right. And then another time they said, they came to me and said, hey, do you want to do this? And then they made me feel like pleasure in my body, which was really weird, like just for a second. And I said, I know what you're doing. You're trying to get me, entice me. I said, forget it. So, don't want to get in an accident. So I said, no. Anyway, I turned down a lot of stuff. So back and forth, and sometimes, you get in contact, and, you could say, loosely, I'm on the Galactic Council, whatever the heck that is. So you go and last 3 weeks ago, we had the whole Ukraine thing, and I said, hey, you're going to start seeing UFOs over Ukraine, and sure enough, that happened. You're going to see UFOs interfere, and I contacted them mentally and said, hey, could you do something? And, that's what happened, and that's what you saw. And recently, about, I guess, 3 weeks ago, I didn't report about it, but I feel like I can report about it now. I said, I contacted them in my mind and said, and I'm saying, hey, I don't say hey to them, but I'm just paraphrasing. Made contact with them, and you could tell when you're in contact because, anyway, I won't get into how, but, so then I'm all of a sudden, in contact with quote unquote, whatever leader there is there. And I said, I would like, you guys told me before that you can control the strong and weak nuclear force. If any nuclear weapons are being used, I'd like them disabled. And then they said to me, well, actually, we're now in contact with someone with your Department of Defense, and we're not really allowed to speak with you. So I was kind of shocked, be honest with you. I said, what? Now, recently in the logo for, I think it's a Central Intelligence Agency, they have a UFO on it. And they said, oh, it was a mistake, So they made contact, however you want to say it, with the aliens, and now are in some kind of treaty and made contact. So the secret, alphabet agencies are involved. So, I'm like, hey, wait a second. I'm the guy in charge, not them. Were you crazy? And I didn't say it that way, but just again paraphrasing. For our entertainment purposes, I could tell you, verbatim what was said back and forth. And again, I say said, but basically in my mind. And then they said, okay, well, I said, what could you do? Just do me this. Could you show a ship, to over Ukraine, like a mothership, or Russia, or both, to show them that, they shouldn't, as a show-off force, that they shouldn't use nuclear weapons, okay? Because, listen, I bit into the fear apple, and I was worried about nuclear war. That's what they talk about all on the TV, and if there's something, that I can do, I thought I'd do something, and they approached me before. So, anyway, so they said, well, we're in treaty, U.S. government, we're not supposed to do that. I said, well, I'm the real dude in charge, and I didn't say dude. Anyway, and the interesting part was, is how they kind of, say, and they say, okay, you're giving us permission to make our vessel seen. Is that correct? Like, they reiterate it, but it's like in legalese, the way they communicate, that way. Like, this is official. This isn't like, a joke kind of thing. And I said, okay, as representative of, the human race, I now give you permission to make your vessel known. And they said, well, we might do it a little bit different way, than over, Russia, Ukraine. I said, that's fine. So recently you've been seeing over, through the ISS camera, you've been seeing there's a UFO, what we call a UFO, UAE, all these stupid words. You've been seeing that recently, and the reason is, as a show of force, that they have control of the strong and weak nuclear force, and they are ready to intervene if appropriate, to stop nuclear weapons from going off. I just thought I'd mention that whole thing, and the weird, scary, different part is that the government's now involved. Obviously, I didn't want to share this for a number of purposes, but I thought it was pertinent to share it now. Thanks so much for tuning in. Like, subscribe, share. Have a great day. Bye-bye.